Hey doing, everyone? Welcome back. Well, I've seen a lot of commentary about this whole Stephen Colbert thing, with his show getting canceled. And you know what? As far as Stephen Colbert personally is concerned, I don't really care, right? Because he's a rich guy, he's going to be fine, right? But people celebrating it. Well, tell you what, I'm not really a Stephen Colbert fan. Never really have been. I mean, some of his stuff is kind of funny, some of it's not. I just never really got into him, right? But, yeah, people cheering it, right? You do realize that eventually there will be a Democrat in power, right? It will happen again. When? Who knows? But it will happen. So they could go after, I don't know, Greg Gutfeld, for example. If you're not familiar with Greg Gutfeld, he's on Fox News. He's on a show called The Five, where it's him and three other right wingers against one left winger, usually Jessica Tarlov. Which, by the way, Donald Trump actually posted on his Dime Store Twitter platform that that he hates Jessica Tarlov and called her a complete loser. Okay, whatever. You know what? If you're familiar with the channel Pondering Politics, Josiah, the host over there, I think he's got a pretty hard crush on Jessica Tarlov. And I mean he claims to be the president of her unofficial fan club or something like that. Anyway, got off track a little bit. All right. If you don't like Stephen Colbert, fine, right? But why is it that the people who are most opposed to cancel culture, or claim to be against cancel culture, want to cancel what they don't like? Whatever happened to, if you don't like it, don't watch it? I mean, there were people who were opposed to Rush Limbaugh back in the day, right? And I was listening to Rush a lot back in the day, in the 90s. Yeah, I listened to a lot of Limbaugh, right? And that guy said that there were people trying to shut him down. Now, was it a prominent thing back then? I don't remember. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I know he had his critics, which everyone does. Fine, whatever, right? But he basically just said, hey, you know what? If you don't like my show, and Rush was right about this, if you don't like my show, you can always not listen to it. You can find something else on the radio. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if you don't like Stephen Colbert, how many other channels are there? And I mean, if you still have regular TV, right? How many other channels are there? And, I mean, if you don't like my YouTube channel, for example, and a lot of people either, well, I think a lot of people either don't or don't know about me because, I only have a few dozen subscribers, right? So trying to get that up into the triple digits at least, hopefully sometime soon. Last time I looked at my analytics, I was at 64. So maybe if you could help me out, get me to 100 maybe. All I need is, less than 40. But yeah, I mean, if they can shut down Stephen Colbert, and now they're talking about maybe shutting down The View, right? Which that's another show that it's of no interest to me, right? I've seen it a few times, and okay, whatever. I understand why some people find it appealing. I choose not to watch it. It was that I watched it because I didn't like the views that they had. But now that the whole political dynamic has shifted, and it's kind of shifted me along with it, it's not so much their takes that I have a problem with. It's just that show just doesn't do it for me. I mean, so what do? I watch not that. I watch something else, right? And the same is true, like they flip out, they flip out when, like Target, they had their Pride displays or whatever. Okay, if you hate it that much, don't shop there, right? And there are people on the left who are not shopping at Target because they caved to the whole anti-DEI policy, right? So, you know what? If they can shut down big names like Stephen Colbert, or and the show that he hosted, it's, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Please let me know in the comments if I am wrong, but I'm like 98% certain that it's David Letterman's old show, right? So, I don't know. I mean, so it's not like you're just canceling Colbert. You're canceling an institution, right? And now they're talking about going after Jimmy Kimmel, and eventually Jimmy Fallon will be on the list, and then they'll start going down YouTube, and they're gonna start picking off people like, oh, I don't know, Jesse Dollemore, Farron Cousins, David Packman, Luke Beasley, Tennessee Brando, and think for a moment that, if they can take those guys down, that they couldn't take down little old me with only 64 subscribers, right? Well, I'll tell you what. It's a bad idea to cheer something like this, right? Because, and if you're cheering for someone else's rights to be taken away, if you want the First Amendment to apply to me but not to thee, well, you're not really a First Amendment person, are you? I mean, you got the Christo-fascists who are, they want to impose their version of Christianity, right? And ironically enough, in Oklahoma, I'm a little bit off topic here, in Oklahoma, the superintendent of the schools, the state superintendent of schools down there, he's been pushing to, have January 6th taught as not the insurrection that it was. He wants it taught that that there were questions about the 2020 election, legitimate questions, instead of, well, hey, look, our guy lost and threw a fit, right? He also wants the 10 Commandments in every classroom. He wants a Bible in every classroom, right? And then they went through and gave the exact description of the Bible that needed to be in the classroom, and it fits, guess what? The exact description of the Trump Bible. So, but this guy, right, just recently got caught with porn on his work computer during a meeting, like a Zoom meeting or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, somebody on the call saw it, but again, I got sidetracked a little bit there, right? We're talking about cancel culture here, right? So you want to cancel this or that because you don't like the content. Never mind the fact that you can find something else that you do like. South Park is another one that they're going after now because of their recent episode mocking Donald Trump and his links to Epstein. I didn't see the episode. I saw a few clips of it. And what I did see was funny. All right. And South Park, again, not really my thing. It's funny, but it's not really my thing. It's something I'll watch if it's on, but I won't seek it out, right? And if you've never seen an episode of South Park, 25 years into it, or however long it's been, probably even, well, it's actually been longer than that. They've been around for, close to 30 years by now, haven't they? At any rate, if you've never seen an episode of South Park, the humor is, it's raunchy at times. It's downright disgusting at times, and it's by design. It's by design. They mean it that way, right? Nothing is sacred to them. Nothing is off limits. And you know what? That's fine. That's perfectly fine by me. And again, I don't dislike the show. I just won't seek it out because I don't like it enough to seek it out, right? I'll find something else, something that is more of interest to me. So, if you're cheering for Stephen Colbert being canceled because you don't like the guy, just remember that there are entertainers that you do like, that a politician that you don't like won't like. And therefore, that politician could be a thin-skinned little, a thin-skinned little bitch. Let's just put it out there like that. That politician could be a thin-skinned little bitch and decide, well, you know what, they're making fun of me, so I need to get this shut down, right? If Trump can do it, a future president can do it, right? So, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. I'll catch you next time.